Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation, White Hat Hackers, Responsibilities After the Fact. There are four main parts in my presentation. The term hacker has taken over our collective imagination as well as the central stage of political debate. In the 21st century, there are two major groups of hackers, white hat and black hat. While black hat hackers are criminals who break into computer networks with malicious intent, such as for ransom or data theft, white hats attempt to infiltrate systems to help identify weaknesses so that developers can patch them in time. In reality, there are two groups of white hat hackers, hide and non-hide. Individuals in the first group work in companies or organizations under the guise of official and legal employees to find vulnerabilities in information systems. After that, they will report these issues and collaborate with network operators to help resolve the problems. On the contrary, the empath are simply free spirits. They hack into systems for a variety of reasons, as hacking is a hobby or pastime for them, to identify security flaws and report their findings. The main distinction between these two groups is their motivation. Hard white hats are bound by company policy and procedures, and compensated for their efforts. Free spirits, on the other hand, adhere to an unwritten code of ethics that promotes ideas with less restriction to create a better lifestyle by utilizing computers to their full potential. When a reporting phase is completed, the developer only needs to confirm and collaborate with hackers to fix the problems. However, things don't always go as planned. Let's say if the developer becomes apathetic, ignoring those flaws because they are minor, insignificant bugs, or because the code is prohibitively expensive, how would the white hat hackers react? In this case, each group of white hat hackers will have to weigh their choices between legal responsibility and ethical responsibility. First, we will talk about legal responsibility. As said previously, white hats who are hired to provide general security are bound by company policy and procedures. Therefore, if we put on the scale, they will be able to incur heavier legal responsibility than the free spirits. Moreover, after finding a vulnerability, they would have to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which forbids the white hat to mention the problem to anyone else. If they breach the terms of NDA, they would be subjected to fines or punishment, basically the typical legal outfall. The free spirits, on the other hand, are not bound by any contracts or agreements, so they don't have to bear the weight of liability on their shoulders. However, they will prioritize putting their ethical responsibility on top and get on with the rest. As stated previously, free spirits are working with the aim of promoting something positive, and their hack contribute to the overall goal of security and protection. If the company fails to respond, they will post their findings on anonymous blogs or social media platforms so that even if the company chooses to ignore their report, the hack has been made public. When the hack has been made public, it forced the company to stretch the issue to keep others from exploiting the company's weakness. In early April of this year, a non-profit group specializing in software reverse engineering, Secret Club, publicly announced that a malicious exploit they had found in the Steam backend had not been fixed in 2 years, and worse, Valve is said to be trying to prevent them from publicly disclosing its existence. After that, member of Secret Club public on Twitter about its existence after Valve failed to take action to fix the exploit. As a result, they had to patch this vulnerability immediately. In summary, when it comes to discovering and resolving vulnerabilities in software systems, each group of white hat hackers will have different pros and cons, working purposes, and responsibility. However, if the developers fail to respond and resolve the issues, the white hat hackers are powerless to intervene. This is because their spirit is willing, but their flesh is weak. The free spirits, on the other hand, will be able to press for more thorough resolution of the issues. They are most likely the best example of what true hackers seek: openness, operation, and the freedom to experiment. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.